Welcome to it, sports fans. It is the MKT Show. It is Friday the 23rd of April. Feels good to be alive. I'm enjoying the whole being alive thing. Being dead, overrated from what I've read. Feels good to be alive and kicking. I've had a good morning. I've got to be honest. I had a good workout this morning. You know, I work out with a trainer now because I live in the big city of Johannesburg, so I got to be a yuppie. I got to be keeping up with the guys with the big guns and the trainer. And then, you know, you go for coffee and you go, hey, but where were you today? I was at my trainer. What's your trainer's name? But, I can recommend my trainer. I want to be one of those people, yeah, I'm saying.
Say swak.
Yeah.
Say swak, but.
Swak, but. Yeah, see, that's hectic. That killed me this morning. You know what I'm saying?
Not gonna lie, I have no idea what's
You
going
broke my wrists, brother.
Yeah, see, but I was in the flipping Iron Kingdom there, bro. Shifting metal.
That act.
You know what I'm saying?
Beta carotene.
Yeah, you got to take a bit of clenbuterol, you know what I mean?
I have no idea what's going on.
So yeah, that's me. That's Friday. That's the 23rd of April. The voices you are hearing, clueless as ever, because he went to AFTA, and then he went to St. Stithians before that. James Ellingsley, what's happening, pal?
Hi.
How are you?
Great, it's Friday.
Yeah.
Happy Friday. We're almost done with another month in this year, so that's also a thing.
Oh yeah. Well, what star sign are you, James? Because I know you're big on that.
I'm really not.
Yeah, let's get into it. Oh, Sagittarius, huh?
Aquarius.
Oh, such an Aquarius thing to say.
Oh, Lord,
Such an
please help
Aquarius
me.
thing to say. You say what you like to be done with the month, huh? The position of the moon, the sea.
I'm not that person.
Oh, you kind of were going on that sort of track.
You can ask anyone that knows me. I am not that person.
Oh, too cool
I
to be
cannot
spiritual.
stand it.
Too cool to be spiritual, James. Good to have you. Friday. James is feeling feisty today. He had a tough day in the office yesterday. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about that. You got a bit of a grilling. President of the Portuguese Association of Portuguesism on planet Earth, my good friend and everyone's favorite, really. Paulo Diaz is back. Paulo, what's happening, Paulo?
You can't just tell me James got grilled and leave it at that. That is intriguing as hell.
It's called a tease.
Before we get into that,
Sure.
if we're about to,
Yeah.
let's just remember the thing that we spoke about.
Yes.
We're not saying the reason why.
Yes. No, we won't get into that. Was off the record, some of
Yes.
the conversation. But, so we work in a hub, right? Cliff Central is a hub where we're shooting currently. And there are other people, other members of the squad. And James was revealing some parts of his personal life. And then the crew is, because it's full of characters, right? It's not just your lame ducks that you get at corporate environments.
Yeah, this is not, there's no actuaries here.
No,
this
there
is
are.
not, yeah.
Yeah, this is a space to really express yourself.
There's
And
it's not a safe space.
it is not.
No.
It is not. And James, he walked through the valley of the shadow of death yesterday because every detail he revealed, just more questions. And then it was tough because you were leaving for about an hour and a half.
I was like, hey guys, I'm going home. And
Yeah.
I kind of just stayed, and we realized there's actually a Bermuda Triangle in the in this hub area, where if you get to it and you stop for even a second, you're stuck there.
Yeah, people ask
Forever.
questions, and it was tough because, listen, James that was tough. How did you sleep last night, James? Because I guess this is difficult for people listening. They don't know you, but James looks like, just an indie guy who probably goes home and does yoga with his cat. You know, you look like that guy. But there's a lot happening in James's personal life, Paulo. Do not look at this guy's indie glasses, douchebag glasses, and think, oh, what a nice guy. Whew.
You know, any inkling of interest I had is gone now.
It's gone.
It's now, I no longer care.
And you're in the show. So if you're bored, imagine the people listening to this.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
Not a great start.
not great content.
great.
Not good content. Paulo, otherwise, how are you doing? And how,
Can we reboot?
we didn't, I mean, you're so selfless. You thought, let's talk about James. I asked you how you were doing.
Oh, and then I
Every Portuguese person cares how you
instantly
doing.
regretted. Instantly regretted it.
You're wearing Portuguese colours, actually. I didn't even notice that.
I am.
Is that deliberate?
It's actually, I think Wolves are playing today. So.
I was about to say it looks a bit like Wolves.
It looks like you could. It looks like you could be part of the technical staff. Yeah, all things well. Paulo, I know. Hey, Paulo works hard. He's always on the grind. Got a family. Got a beautiful wife, beautiful daughter. I mean, is everyone okay? How's things going? How's your week been?
No, everyone's great. It has been I got to say, right. So my two worlds are football world and then the podcasting, digital audio world. And both of those were changed fundamentally this week. So on one hand, I'm trying to like keep track of everything that's happening in football,
Yeah.
so that I can give my best to this show. And on the other hand, I'm trying to keep up with what Apple are doing and what everyone's doing, and Facebook are doing podcasts. There was so much information in my brain. James, you won't relate.
Yeah.
There was so much going through my head this week. So I actually need football podcasting is almost like this James's Bermuda Triangle.
It is.
Yeah.
You just get stuck. Hey, listen. Speaking of that, is your article out yet? About you touched on kind of the new trends in podcasts. Are you going to release the blog?
I think it's. I'm not sure of the release schedule. It might come out next Wednesday or Thursday on Financial Mail.
Cool. And Financial Mail, so you can go and look up. Paolo will be discussing. Can you give us a little tease of what the next article will be about?
Well, actually, it's about how brands, social audio like Clubhouse and Fireside Chat and Facebook's new one and Twitter Spaces. It's about how brands can use them as a marketing tool.
Huh.
Hectic.
Interesting.
Yeah. Hey, this is, people say just a sports show.
No.
Three-dimensional. You come
Paolo's-
here. Hey?
Paolo's not just a pretty face.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Look at you.
More.
Yeah. Hey, you impressed, eh, James?
Very.
James is, and rightfully so. Paolo is, he's a useful human being
In
to
the
have around.
land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. Just
Oh.
remember that.
That is one of the best sayings on earth. James, have you ever heard that before?
I
would
have.
be shocked.
I've heard it in a sermon before.
Okay. Yes, it is very much from the book.
Church-going James.
The good, yeah, same guy. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, we need to make it clear right now. Same guy who called Jesus a savage 2 days ago, only 2 days ago, but he knows that from a sermon. All right, James, very proud of you. St. Stidians, I'm sure, proud of you. After, very proud of you, and the lovely Mrs. Rickson, proud of you, as you just tarnish the Savior's name and call Paolo more than a pretty face.
But don't misunderstand here. James, you want to take James home to meet your parents. James is that guy.
He is.
No, this is a lovely man. I'll tell you what, let me tell you. This is a thing and it's banter and, lols for the boys. What a lovely guy you are, James.
Yeah.
What a lovely, the other day he gave me such a little wave.
During the show.
It was so, but what a pleasant chap. My
Yeah.
daughter asks, is this James? I said, if universes collided,
Yeah.
and I would not complain. James as my son-in-law.
There we go, James.
I would not
I
complain.
think
There we
I'm
go.
blushing.
I would not complain.
It's at this
Because-
stage. Yeah.
I see how James does anything you ask him to do, which is fantastic.
That's the thing about the bee is it'll give you honey, but there's the tail does sting. The tail does sting. There was something on the back end. All right, good to have you here, boys. I appreciate having both of you. We're going Friday 5 today. Listen, after a tumultuous week, all right, we're going to get into the greatest things that have ever happened in sport, in my opinion. I'll give you the 5 greatest things that have ever happened in sport. Thomas Tuchel, why is he perfect for Chelsea? I'll tell you about that. Greatest game show on earth. Drogba or Pogba, that's back today. So big Friday. Let's get into it. I'm MKT. This is the MKT Show, by the way. And remember, you can get the podcast if you're one of those people. You know what? Everything that's nice eventually ends up in douchebaggery hands, right? Oh, I only listen to podcasts. I can only do it on the go. I'm so busy. I'm on the run. Hey, no problem. We got you. Get the podcast on the Cliff Central app. Otherwise, you can get it on Spotify, Google Podcasts, where heathens like James are. But if you're a legend like me, Pocket Casts, of course. If you're an Apple podcast, please rate us. Some of the stuff you can say. James, what's some of the stuff you can say? Hey, James's face, not as good in real life. MKT's forehead, massive. Milk tart, again, terrible dessert. What's going on there? Is it a quiche? Is it dairy? No one knows. It's terrible.
How would chairs look if our knees bent the other way? I'll leave you guys with that one.
Use some of those comments on Apple Podcasts.
That was incredible, right?
LOL.
You use that comment on Apple Podcasts. It's just that, we were encouraging you to comment. Yeah.
Change the grading on that camera. I'm gone super red.
Yeah, that's it.
Yo.
How it needs Okay, so that's some of the comments. Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you may find your podcast. Rate us, like us. If you're on YouTube, you just popping in. What's happening? Push the like. That's the up thumb. If you don't like this, I don't know. Go back to massaging your partner's feet or whatever you were doing on this fine day. on this fine day.
This fine Friday morning, afternoon
Yeah.
time of day.
We're getting into it. Easy does it there, James. We'll let you take a mulligan on that while we get into the sports show. By the way, we're a sports show. We should get into
see
that.
the steam coming out of my head.
I did. James, good to have you. Paulo, good to have you. Let's get into it. The Friday 5.
Let's do it.
It is the 5 greatest things that have ever happened to sport. All right, let's get into it. At number 5, listen, an Austrian company in 2004 launched an event, and people thought, what is going on here? A guy called Jens Peters. Jens Peters. I would imagine they say it a little different in that German dialect they got. Japan 2019 was the perfection of it. The NFL has taken it to another level. At number 5, the 5th greatest thing to ever happen in sports is the Spider Cam. Are you kidding me right now? Changed everything. IPL. Have a look at the IPL from around 2010. Spider Cam, phenomenal. It is in 5th place. It changed the way we viewed everything. If you haven't seen that Springbok try through the Spider Cam, go and Google and YouTube that. That is phenomenal. At number 4, listen, you know when you go to these things, these terrible things called weddings, people expect you to take holidays. I'm taking a holiday so you can get married. Now, it's Chelsea, Arsenal. I got to miss the football. I got no clue what's going on because it's 2005. And I got to, I don't know, put out a smoke signal and hopefully get the result 15 minutes later. All of this was gone. All of this is gone now. It's got all the sports results, right? It's easy to use. Are you kidding me? At number 4, the best app on planet Earth. It's LiveScore. The LiveScore app, I promise you, it's the fourth best thing to ever happen to sport as a whole. Listen, the Premier League, I love it. The Premier League app is one of the worst things on the planet. We call it UX, user experience, is horrendous. It has got a horrendous user experience. A live app, a score app, is just phenomenal. It's on the next level. At number 3, the perfect marriage of sports and entertainment. Nothing's been this before, and nothing continues to be this. They keep innovating. There's a reason they're the king of America. They're run by really smart people. And then they've got a gatekeeper, a strong, business-minded gatekeeper who keeps the billionaires on a leash and keeps the players on a leash. Massive egos, both sides. Roger Goodell doing the job of all jobs. Richard Scudamore was the Premier League guy before. But this, at number 3, is the 3rd greatest thing to happen in sport. It's called the NFL. It's called the NFL. They do it right all the time. It's like they never take a misstep. And I tell you what their secret is. They're independent. People go, why don't the NFL list? Because then they got 20-year-olds rioting in London that want to have a say on a business where billionaires are running it. Shut up and watch it. We're smart. We know what we're doing. Let the players and the billionaires fight, and Roger Goodell's in the middle. They got the commissioner of all commissioners. At number 3, the 3rd greatest thing to ever happen to sport is the NFL. At number 2, purely by the force of numbers, because I've actually fumbled it since Scudamore left, but 3 billion people are interacting with this. Nothing is this. People often say, yeah, movies are the biggest thing in the world. Folks, movies get 200 million people into a cinema and they do backflips. 3 billion people, the stats tell us, interact with content of this league in some way every weekend. 3 billion per weekend interact in some way, either watching the game, talking about the game. 3 billion. Listen to that number. It's half the world's population. Listen, it's civilized a thuggish culture in the United Kingdom over 20 years. A thuggish culture. That's what it was in the 80s. That's what it was in the 90s. An Australian came through. Here's lots of money. I'm going to put you on TV. Leave these clowns called the FA behind. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2nd greatest thing to ever happen. Right? And actually, why I think it's the 2nd greatest thing to ever happen is even with the FA getting in the way all of the time, they continue to be the juggernaut of all juggernauts. The FA is trying everything to hold this league back and ruin it. In 92, they tried to escape, and then the FA went running to the government, so the FA still has a bit of a say in the Premier League. They've made lots of mistakes on the way, but the English Premier League is the 2nd greatest thing to ever happen to sport, by a long way. 3 billion. Just for saying that number out loud, I feel like people should get arrested. 3 billion interactions per weekend. Avatar's going to get 250 million people watching it worldwide, and people are going to go, oh my goodness. And that's over probably like a year and a half. 3 billion people a weekend. The product of all products. At number 1, and I think it's quite easy, this week, I try and keep hope in mankind, but this week has shown me that, my God, we are still Neanderthals. We let 20-year-olds and Twitter trolls dictate how business and how we interact will be run. I've always said it, no matter what tribe you're in, it's got nothing to do with how much money you've got, where you live. Listen to smart people, please, not the loudest people. Listen to the smartest. If you live in the hood or an economically down the scale place, you still know who the smart people are. They're spending time in the library. They're getting the highest marks, maybe if they're in school, or if she's a single mother, she's looking after a household on $300, $400 per month, but she's feeding a family of 6. She's never in trouble. She's never late for work. She's got her kids in school. Her kids are never late for school. They're never in trouble. Be around the smart people. And for me, I'm sorry, we can argue economics all you want. Listen, I'm a lefty and I'm a theoretical Marxist. So the fact that there's billionaires, philosophically, do I have a problem with it? I do. What I don't have a problem with is people that execute and civilize mankind. Do things, try stuff, be nicer to one another. Ladies and gentlemen, the greatest thing to ever happen, and they formed the NBA, the NFL, the EPL. Without them, it doesn't happen, because you know what happens is rule makers, lawyers, politicians sit and run the FA, and they have their championship, and they have the League Cup, and they have the league, the leagues below. The greatest thing to ever happen in sport is billionaires. It's billionaires. Because the rest of us sit here and go, I wonder if I did this, guys, we should have a meeting. Let's have a coffee next Tuesday. It's the whole world. I live in this world. People can't wait to have a meeting. Billionaires say, excuse me, I'd like that done by Friday, and we're going to try and get it to 100 million people. Most of us don't do that. I can't wait to have our meeting in 3 weeks. Sorry, I'm really busy this week. But we'll have a chat in 3 weeks. How often you hear that? Billionaires make it happen, and they make it happen long term. Well, do they make mistakes? Yes. They're not perfect. It's not perfect that, if you're going to argue economics, that there's that disparity. But we got to move forward. We can't all just be in Rosebank and be social justice warriors and have critical theory on our minds all the time. And nothing can change because, I think we need to include this person and that person. I want to state this right now. I am anti-inclusivity. I'm anti it. It is not the way to progress. Not everybody should have an opinion. I don't know where that comes from. In our local communities, right, where I'm from, my mother's in a rural society, the elders decide what happens. You don't ask the kids. They got no clue what they want. They can barely decide which way is left, which way is right. Their hormones, children have no clue. These 25-year-olds that think they know what's going on. But we live in a society where everyone must be included. Zero. I say no to that. Do not include everybody. In your personal life, if you think everyone's opinion is important, you're about to have a long life, my friend. Billionaires, the most important thing that's happened in the history of sport. It's not even close. By the way, get hoity-toity. Roland Garros doesn't look like Roland Garros now. Wimbledon is a product of really rich people, that execute and they distribute the product. Listen, let me give you an example. A guy called Mark Cuban owns Dallas Mavericks now. He was the first person to stream content worldwide. He started sports streaming worldwide. Smartest guy. Folks, sorry, I do not believe in inclusive decision making. Stop that. And right from the bottom, from our poorest communities, right up to hoity-toity, go and live with James and have a nice beard land. Don't include everyone. Include less people. I told you yesterday, 90% of society has no clue what is good for them. So don't listen to them. Is there going to be pushback? Yes. But you got to put up with that. You do great things. Most people aren't doing great things. Listen, I'm lucky. I work with Paula, I work with James, both hardworking guys. Will I take their opinions? Of course, because they're willing to try things. I don't want people around me who want to go and sit around and, how can we include more people? We should think about doing this. I asked James to do things. 10 minutes later, he's coming back to me and says, how does this look? I don't need a million people's opinions. So, billionaires, game changers. Game changers. Jamie, you had a bit of a wobble with the billionaires, hey, last week,
This week.
or was it this week?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not so happy. John W. Henry, he apologized. Have you processed that? Are you still in your feels?
I don't know, actually. Like I said to you yesterday, I understand why billionaires need to be there.
Mm-hmm.
I understand their role in developing a club and a city or a NFL team, and creating that sort of tourist attraction like you spoke about, to bring in more money into the club and whatever. I understand that, but I do feel like there has to be a line.
Do you know who Elizabeth Kubler-Ross is?
Kind of rings a bell.
So she's this really smart Swiss woman, right? She came up with something called the 5 stages of grief. And I can't quite remember the order, but it's like denial, bargaining. So I think you're somewhere between. Are you still in denial? Like you can't believe the ESL was even suggested.
I think I'm at acceptance because I know billionaires are here to stay.
Oh, so you were depressed. You've already gone. Acceptance is the end, by the way. That's when you're doing the recovery.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I haven't looked yet.
Have you been depressed? Have you been angry? You were angry at a
Yes,
stage. Did
yeah.
you? So you were in denial at first. You couldn't believe the league was going to happen.
Yeah.
And then did you get angry?
Yes.
Did you get depressed?
Not majorly, no.
But a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
And now you're acceptance.
Billionaires are here to stay. They're the smart people. So, and I mean, they sometimes they do make questionable choices.
Sure.
But like I said, I feel like there has to be a cap. I mean, you have Man City who have their bench is just insane.
Yeah.
So that's where I feel like there needs to be a cap.
A salary cap, huh?
And I think I get financial fair play and FIFA try to control it, and then you take that away. Because I'm sure they've just recently taken it away, or
There's a moratorium, I told you.
Because of COVID and,
Yeah.
they all got an excuse.
And Paulo, your relationship with billionaires in sport, and the top 5 list, by the way, 5 greatest things that happen in sport: the Spider Cam, the Live Score app. If you don't have it on your phone, you don't deserve to call yourself a sports fan. The third is the NFL. Second is the EPL, and number 1, not even close for me, is billionaires.
Live Score doesn't show videos, right?
It does not.
I wish it did, though. That's what you need. I think that's what the Super League would have given us. Like instant videos.
You know what's a great app for that? Have you seen the Formula 1 app?
Yes. Formula 1 app. That if there was a Formula 1 style app for all sports, Formula 1 and MotoGP, those guys got some good apps.
Yeah, the official F1 app is...
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's about F1, I open the app and I'm falling asleep.
But dare you say that's what happens when you have one group of people running a sport exactly how
there
they
you
want.
go. Not 83 different bodies.
Yeah, somewhat of a, some might say, some sort of racing super league. If you will. Stuff would work, and then you wouldn't have lawyers and corrupt UEFA people. Is that what you're saying? Are you suggesting? And the NFL app, by the way,
As well, yeah.
5 different angles, James. NFL app. The UX isn't great, but you can get, if you go NFL Pass, and I had it this past season, you can watch the match from 5 different angles, crystal clear.
What?
NFL.
What do you mean 5 different angles?
I mean, I cannot explain it clearer than that. They give
Bum
you 5.
cam. You can watch from behind. You can watch from top.
Yeah.
You can watch from the side. You can watch inside. So you can watch actually the biological processes from inside. So each player in the NFL has swallowed a pill with a microscopic little camera in it.
Yeah.
And also they shrunk down scientists to go inside this. So they actually, angle number 5 is the game from inside the players.
That is incredible.
We're in Tom
Progressive,
Brady's
guys.
kidney right now.
Progressive.
He's about to throw a touchdown to win the Super Bowl. Great view from his kidney. He's just he's right now we're filtering urine with Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
That would be
one of the cameras.
That invention, guys. I think we've just invented.
That's
the future
huge
of
right
sport.
now.
I honestly think we've just
Patent that, James.
There's
Jump on a website. Patent the hell out.
patent.com.
There
Do
is a reason why it's called and I'm going to say it, Super Bowl. Because you spoke about filtering urine.
That's I see.
Super
I
Bowl.
see.
Okay, not my best work.
No,
I'm getting there. It's Friday. It's been a long week.
the bar is low. So luckily the bar is low.
The other day he said the bar was quite high, actually. 'cause
We will say what the hell we want to say.
Yeah.
Actually,
You guys are like a married couple.
Well, Paulo's Paulo. I'm me. What Paulo says and what I say is not the same thing. You know?
Really smart people change their opinion based on the evidence presented to them.
100%.
Dumb people never change their opinion despite what the evidence is saying.
Amen.
That's it.
Amen.
You know who said that?
Sigmund Freud.
Snoopy. No, me. I don't know who said that. Just think about it. Stamp it. Patent.com. I can see your screen. There's no patents
It's
happening there.
unbelievable. We were
If
shrinking
I
down into Tom
don't
Brady's
have-
kidney.
If Umbelelo, myself, and you are not able to start our own Super League in 10 years' time out of all the money we've made from pull cams, I don't even want to. I
This
don't
is
even
the
want
moment.
to know what'll happen.
This is the moment. If you see, you're not getting on it, James. You're being one of those kids who want to go have a latte before you actually register it.
I just opened a website. It's
Good.
called. Well, I typed in patent.com and it came up with claravate.com.
Oh my goodness. If I had John W. Henry in here right now, he would have 6 patents done already.
You know what I love about Henry and all the apologies out of the Super League guys? They were pretty much like, we're sorry if you were offended by this. None of them said they're sorry.
No.
They were all like, oh, we're sorry about the reaction. We're sorry if...
Yeah.
But it was basically, oh, I'm sorry that you got offended by what we tried. No one apologized.
First of all, I hate that billionaires are apologizing to stooges. I hate it.
Well, they're
they
not.
shouldn't have apologized at all.
They're not. They're making statements
Yeah.
about apologies. Apologies are in their ballpark, but they're not making the apologies. And nor should they.
It's like...
They took a chance.
So what you're saying is it's like a husband who cheats on his wife and then she catches him and he says, I'm not sorry that I cheated. I'm sorry that you caught me.
And that's exactly has been their response. They're just upset that they got caught.
Yes, I know.
They don't care that they tried it. They don't care about the response. They're upset that they got caught.
Well, there's still 3 teams that haven't left the Super League yet.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, so they and Perez says that apparently no one has formally left.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. I mean, he's blind as to what's going on.
Yeah, it's so who's left? Juve, Barca and
Real.
Real Madrid, hey?
No.
There you go. So Cristiano and Messi are still keen for the Super League.
Well, I mean, Barcelona and Real Madrid combined, there's something like 2 billion in debt.
That's why they need.
That's why they need it.
I saw what's it? Who's the guy now? Laporta. He's saying that it's necessary to have the league.
So here's a good idea. Let's take 2 institutions that technically should never and will never run out of money,
Yeah.
have squandered money constantly. Let's give them more money.
Yes.
Guys, here's more money that you can mismanage.
That is a phenomenal idea.
Yeah. No, but this is where you need a proper commissioner. The fact that Florentino Perez is going to be the chairman is nonsense. The NFL have got it right? Is number one, even distribution. But Roger Goodell runs the NFL. So he's separate from the owners. He's separate from the league. His job is to make sure the league is functional.
Yeah.
And you as Paulo, you own the Cleveland Browns. You can't just go off and manage your
Why do you
money
give me
like
that-
Barcelona.
Why do you give me that money?
Hey, they just made their first playoff in 23 years or 26
That's what I'm
years.
saying. I
Nice
don't want
job,
that.
Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield.
Nice.
He's out and about. OBJ. Got Jarvis Landry as the other receiver. And Njoku's coming back at tight end. They got a great O-line, the best O-line in the league.
If I got to take give me Dallas Cowboys at least.
They haven't made the Super Bowl in 25 years. Jerry hasn't won in 25 years.
Dallas Cowboys has a money printing press.
They do.
That's why if I'm going to have no success.
Perfect example. Jerry Jones. Why the Super League would have been a great idea. Jerry Jones. Everybody else, I forget who they sell their tickets through. Jerry Jones sells the tickets for Dallas Cowboys. Everybody else markets with the league. Jerry Jones does his own thing. Jerry Jones has negotiated that he negotiates the TV deal for the NFL, by the way. Jerry Jones, who everyone else is in a collective bargaining. Guess what the Dallas Cowboys are? Not in the collective bargaining. Jerry Jones, you got to be independent.
That's what I'm saying.
By the way, parochial tiny sport called the NFL. Jerry Jones, the most valuable franchise on earth.
No success. No Super.
Haven't won in 25 years. They haven't won the
No.
Super Bowl. They haven't been
Barely in the playoffs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they haven't been in a championship game in about 20 years. Most valuable franchise in the world. It's what I've been saying forever. Don't put politicians and pen pushers in charge. Jerry, by the way, go and read up about Jerry Jones. He's been broke 4 times.
Well, billionaire broke.
Yeah.
We all, Yeah. So he's
Is-
been a millionaire a couple of
I
times.
was about to say, is billionaire broke where you go down from billion to million and then
Yeah.
back up?
Yeah, that's billionaire broke.
but made it happen.
Hard life.
Hey, listen, but in real life, here's what happened. Took a $140 million loan, and there was some big pressure for him to pay it off. That was squeaky bum time that he'd have to sell it back. And Jerry Jones made it happen. And then he found a man by the name of Tom Landry, and the Dallas Cowboys were changed forever. They went on they built probably the greatest NFL team we've ever seen. Troy Aikman. So go and look that up. Jerry Jones. Stay independent. Super League.
Miss Independent, if you will.
Point with what Paulo was saying. Barcelona and Real Madrid. For me, get a strong guy to run it all. Not FIFA. They have no clue. If there is an example of how not to do things ever in your life, it's FIFA and UEFA.
I think for the Super League, no club chairmen or CEOs should have been involved in the
executive side.
Yeah.
The NFL's got it perfect. But what you need a pit bull like Roger Goodell, right? There are very few people on earth that can tell billionaires, hey, sit down. You need Roger Goodell. Adam Silver, the NBA, the numbers are insane. You've got to have that guy, and actually you need to run it like a business. It can't be FIFA doing projects, pretending to do projects in the Caribbean and Africa the whole time. Where's the money? Stop making movies and telling me about how much you're doing in the Ivory Coast. Show me the stadiums and show me the schools you've built.
They're too busy giving pencils to underprivileged
and
children.
my mother worked for 30 years in the geopolitical space in those countries, so I know nothing is done by FIFA. I'm not just saying it because I'm in my fields. Yeah, I'm saying, James?
Are you in your fields?
A little bit. I am passionate about football.
I can tell.
Got a bit passionate there.
You did, but it's okay.
Let me pull it back.
Remember the thing we spoke about?
Projecting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You just got to go inside your own head sometimes and then just pull it back and then try again.
All right. I'm going to pull it back. Billionaires, most important thing that's ever happened in sport.
There you go. That's better.
James, what you doing this weekend, pal? I never ever ask you, really. I feel like, so just so people know, this is the only time I ever ask James about stuff that he does, Otherwise, we're just working.
I think I'm playing football on Saturday or Sunday. Not sure yet.
Now, James, I have accused you of the following. I've said you're the least athletic person I've ever met. How did you feel when I said that? Because I've said it a couple of times on different days as well, because you keep confirming it.
I know I'm not.
So what are you? So
I
know I'm not. So what are you? That's
Oh yeah.
No, I went into my head and finished what I was gonna say, and then saw your guys' reaction. So I'm not gonna go with what I was gonna say. I am not 8% body fat.
I am, by the way.
I'm about 100% body fat.
Okay. Now you're body shaming yourself.
And I'm not a professional athlete.
Okay. Neither am I. You're certainly not a professional athlete.
But I
you're
feel
the
like
least athletic person I've ever met.
I am somewhat athletic though.
Compared to a
tortoise.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I when it comes to football, I am relatively athletic.
Okay.
It's the most athletic thing. I can't skip. I can't jump rope.
Why? It's too much happening there. Arms and legs and you're a tall guy. How tall are you? You 6'2",
6'3".
Yeah, you are a big man. Usually gangly people, not athletic. Not athletic.
I tried.
That's tough. You should have played basketball or rugby.
I came back from visiting my parents in December, and they had a jump rope, and my mom was like, "Here, take this," and I was like, "Cool, I'll take it. I'm gonna use it at home.
Yeah,
it's gonna help me stay fit." And I tried, and I
failed. Hey, 6'3", huh? Different life. Do you need an extra length bed? When does that start becoming an issue?
My feet do poke out at the end.
Oh, so you need extra length, huh?
Not massively.
You carry your tallness well. I'm suspicious of tall people because I'm not that tall. So, I always
I don't know where this is going.
No,
you carry your tallness well.
Because 6'3" is tall.
No, it's a big boy.
And
James is a big boy.
That's the limit that I start getting suspicious of someone. 5'9", 6". That's when I start going, it's a short guy thing, but I don't trust big people. What's going on? What are you doing up there? Why?
That's true.
What are you doing? You're just being selfish. Why are you taking up all this space, right?
This is true.
But as you say 6'3", I go, you don't strike me as 6'3", but you are tall, but you're not suspiciously tall. So well done. Congratulations on carrying your tallness well.
Yeah. There you have it.
That's all I have to say on that matter.
Thank you.
There you have it.
I don't know
length.
what to do with that information. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, get an extra length bed. What the hell are your feet doing poking out?
They don't poke out
Or
all
sleep
the
on
way.
the floor,
Yeah,
then your
there we
feet
go.
won't poke up.
I just have to position the.
Do you have to do the skew neck thing? You have to fold like a what's the?
Are you folding your neck or folding your knees?
Yeah,
what are
that's
you
a
doing?
great question.
My knees.
You're folding your knees.
No, that's not a
Oh.
sleeping position.
That's not a manly sleeping
It's like
position.
the fetal position.
Exactly.
Yeah, like a baby.
I
Like a
do
wimp.
cry myself to sleep, so it does help. It's a natural position to go into.
A tiny puppy, a tiny little puppy looking to be fed by its mommy.
Looking defenseless.
That is ridiculous. Get an length. What are you doing with your money?
No, okay.
Stop buying nice cars. James is a really nice car. Sell your car and get an extra length bed.
I don't need one.
You're 6'3" with your feet poking out. It's about to be winter. You're gonna come in here. Oh, sorry, I'm late. My feet were too cold. I had to stay an extra 15 minutes in the shower.
Jesus Christ, where do you sleep that you get that cold?
Imagine. I don't live in Siberia. First of all, okay, you're projecting again.
Okay.
Secondly, you didn't let me finish. My feet don't poke out like all the way. It's not like here's the duvet ending and then here's my feet. It's like my little toesies sometimes.
Okay, but are you aware that extra length? Do you know what sleep's about? My mother always says this. There are two things I must never ever cut corners on: my bed and my shoes. If you're not in one, you're in the other. Sleep is the most important part of your day.
Wow.
You need to be recovered.
Jeez, we just went to school.
did.
What are you doing with?
Wow.
Now you're a pretzel. You're a human pretzel there in your bed. Yeah,
What about when you're barefoot?
James? What about when you're barefoot? Your
No,
toe-
I'm asking you because you're saying
Oh.
never cut corners on your bed or your shoes,
What if I'm barefoot? I'm at home.
but not in bed or in your shoes.
No. But then I'm. That's a good point. But if I'm at home, I'm in comfort. I'm probably sleeping on my posturepedic bed.
What?
Like
So-
if I'm walking around the office, working, I'm in shoes.
No, but that's what I'm saying. But if you're
Oh,
home,
when you're barefoot.
but you can be home barefoot and not necessarily in bed.
Oh, speaking of which, I'm so glad you actually brought that up. Went to the most hippie place in the world
barefoot.
last weekend. I could have been barefoot, and I am a barefoot guy. I'm big on hiking and etc. I'm way out there. You guys see, I wear the same clothes basically every day.
Do you have those toe shoes?
I don't have those toe shoes.
Wait, which toe shoes? I have to know.
They shoes. They're supposed to be very good.
Vivos. They're called Vivos.
Is that them?
Yeah, well, that's one of
Oh,
the
those
models.
ones
It's
Yeah.
where
your
your
toes.
yeah, it's like-
it
yeah.
goes. Your toes go in there.
No,
I
no.
can
That's a-
see him wearing
That's
those.
a big risk, though. But anyway, do you have?
It's not great for your feet. Actually, a huge proponent of fasciitis in the feet.
Also, you look like an idiot.
It's true. It's like wearing
So,
Crocs.
so mostly that's what it's not good for.
It's generally the guys, the like mountain guys. They're like, oh, it's all about freedom and your natural shape. Like, no,
I've seen guys walk around 4 Mall with
they
those
are.
shoes.
They're terrible.
That's the douche.
Yeah, that is. Wow, that's another level.
If you're listening to this and you wear those shoes, look down at your feet. Consider everything in your life to this point.
Reconsider your life choices.
And you know what? Any potential sponsor of the show that
Yeah.
makes toe shoes,
yeah,
don't even call us.
don't do it.
Don't call us.
Don't do
We don't want
As
you
you-
sponsorships.
We will say, hello, oh, hi, listen,
Yeah.
we've got R1 million we'd like to put in your show. Oh, awesome. What's your product? Toe shoes. Boop. And then, I'll phone you back. I'll go, hello, you're an idiot, not me. That's what I'll do. That's my feeling. Like I said, it's not a principle unless you're prepared to walk away from it. I'll walk away
Yes.
from R1 million sponsorship toe shoes. I'm not into it.
Man, that is.
Paolo is passionate about toe shoes.
Although,
He gets it.
maybe I'm jumping the gun. You guys may want to take them as a sponsor, in which case, you guys take it. Just the toe shoe segments, I'll go outside.
No. It's all or nothing. We're a team. If you go, the
Thank
show
you.
falls apart.
Thank you,
Because
guys.
I'm all about winning with the team. You
Thank
can't
you
do.
for supporting.
Yeah. No. I support.
Thank you for
I support you. I support you.
As the chief growth officer
Yeah.
of the MKT show.
Paolo, so what are your views on Crocs?
So they are the after hour toe shoes.
Okay.
But it's all the same ballpark. All the same ballpark. But anyway, I want to hear about your hippie place.
No. Well, we'll go to the hippie place. Talk to me about Crocs, though. You opened up a door there, James. Great question in there. I've seen people that they think it's cool if you're like in a relationship or whatever to wear Crocs at home, and
Yeah,
then they say
That's fine.
uncomfortable. Like no,
No,
my mate.
no. If I see people in a relationship and then they do get comfortable, then either you don't stay in a relationship long or you stay in like a relationship with a T, right? Because
A relation sugar honey iced tea.
exactly. So once you get comfortable, you're no longer in a relationship. You're in a Okay.
Okay.
The first sign, there are a few signs. Crocs is one. Right?
Wait, but you have to be more specific. Wearing Crocs out?
Crocs is
Or
one. Crocs
just
is
in
one.
general?
Crocs is one.
Just owning Crocs is...
Crocs is one.
Cool.
Crocs. General ballpark Crocs.
Yeah.
Sleeping in tracksuits
Okay.
Whoa. Okay. So
with your partner.
so tracksuits is what? Like
Tracksuits.
a two-piece.
Any part of a tracksuit, sleeping in it.
So what should I be sleeping in?
He sleeps in tracksuits. That's why he's
But-
asking.
No, I don't.
But because he sleeps in the nude.
I do.
Oh, God.
Sleeping in the nude,
I do.
relationship. Sleeping in a tracksuit, relation. That's one.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. This is awesome, James. This is good to know.
This is great information. I'm taking this all in.
We all do it. The first fart. The first fart breaks
Yeah.
the seal.
Okay. If she stays around after that, we all good.
Well, if you stay around after she does,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
it's whatever. The first fart breaks the seal. We're humans. We got to fart. We got to poop.
Absolutely.
Okay? I don't want to be gross. I know people probably having
No.
right now.
Hey, this is real life. By the way, welcome to a sports show that's called the MKT Show, but we're having real talk right
This
now.
is, you know, what I like to think is we like to replicate locker rooms.
Yes.
Is that, we're in locker rooms, sports people talk about these things.
Yes.
Exactly.
Huh.
We're
So,
having...
Tracksuits, Crocs. Get them the hell out. You're in a relationship, SHIT.
Yeah.
If you got tracksuits in bed, there are those terrible people. Two-piece tracksuit, probably wear it to bed, huh?
Yeah.
So the worst it'll get cold now. I can't sleep starkers. I'll get my thermal underwear on.
What about...
It's no, hey, I'm a skier. What do you want, James?
I'll
what
take
about-
thermal underwear.
What about sweatpants?
That's tracksuit.
Don't sleep in there. There we go.
That's tracksuit, my
Yo,
man.
James, you just realized. Hey, I just saw James's eyes going. Oh, I'm on a one street. I'm on a one-way street to breakup land. because-
Pajama pants. There are nice pajama pants. They're more comfortable.
No, but like
Joggers.
wearing these pants
Yeah, to bed.
is the most comfortable thing in the world for me.
Have you worn pajama pants?
Long or short?
Either.
Yes.
Just as comfortable. And you know what? Sometimes it's not about comfort. It's just showing, you know what, I care.
I'm still trying.
I'm still trying. I took a moment to go, you know what? Even though we're both under the covers, we do it a little snug. I care. I care because I went out and I spent money that I didn't have to. I care.
I've always, Paolo, fantastic that you brought this up. Great segue to something I've always said, and I said it on Gareth Cliff's show. By the way, GCS, you can catch it at 6 o'clock live every day. Then on YouTube. Otherwise, you can catch it on the Cliff Central app at the GCS. Hilarious show. I've been saying for a year now. When a girl wears pumps, what she's telling me, she's given up. You are sorry, if you're not wearing awesome sneakers or high heels, you've given up. That's where the soul goes to die. Pumps. You wear pumps, you're telling me you've given up. So, Paolo, I need people to keep trying, folks. Take it from a single guy, a self-centered single guy who's out there on the street. I see you wearing pumps. You're telling me I've given up. And if you don't care, why should I?
I would do a Netflix show of guys who've just relationships broken down. Newly divorced guys. Just been dumped. And I'd go to be like Queer Eye, where I'd go to their house and I need to go see what's your house.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be the shortest show on Netflix because I'd say, the guy tell me the story. We've got like those vignettes in the beginning, soft focus lens. It's
all traumatic.
You know that.
Yeah.
We've all seen that.
I have.
That's 5 minutes because I say, guys, you got to do a 5-minute bumper package because then they cut to me and then I get out of a sponsored car, probably like a Dodge or Ford,
Yeah,
like
that's
a
it,
big
yeah.
car.
Yeah, yeah.
And they got like the dash cam of me. So I'm driving over to James. I'm just using James. I couldn't think of another name.
Yeah.
What can we call the guy?
Jonathan.
Gertrude.
Theophilus.
No, that's a girl.
Yeah,
Theophilus.
Theophilus.
I'm
Classic.
I'm driving to Theophilus' house, and
Greek guy.
Theophilus has recently ended a relationship, and we're gonna find out how by going back into the closet. That'll be cool. Go back into the closet. Okay.
Great name. We thought about that right now.
So while I'm driving, Theophilus, his little vignette plays, right?
Yes.
I get out the car, walk up the driveway, bing bong, Theophilus presents. He's there. Theophilus, I know your story. Where's the bedroom? Go to the bedroom, open, Crocs, done. Credit roll.
Yeah.
Mystery solved, guys. Now we know why Theophilus' wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, significant other left him. Crocs, tracksuit pants, boop,
Yeah.
out of here. Good. And you know what, Theophilus? You deserved it.
Thumbs, middle finger.
Quick question: why are we not in a Netflix boardroom right now, pitching
going
the
back
show?
to the closet.
There you are.
That is so good.
I can even see like the editing style
dude.
happening on the show.
Yeah.
Driving through the woods, the
Yeah.
forest, the cars growling. It's obviously American muscle.
And then you're getting out of the car in like slow motion, but the cuts are fast.
That's it. 7-minute show. 7 minutes. That's all you need.
Oh, and then afterwards you've got the girlfriend crying. I tried for so long.
And I say, well, you know what? I saw those Crocs.
Yeah.
You're better off.
Oh, Michelle, move on.
Get out.
Shell.
Yeah, go crockless, as they say.
Yeah.
Shell.
He was a lot of croc.
Mish.
Let's talk some sports.
Yeah, let's go back to sport.
Sports, guys.
Next time I'll tell you about the hippies I was with. And by the way, I do go full hippie as well. So that's a positive for me. Went to a place called the Bryanston Organic Market. I'll tell you guys another time. You have no idea. But you've been there? Or you heard?
No, I've been there.
Oh.
There are, listen, Bryanston, like, there are more. We will have this conversation.
We'll
definitely have it.
Oh.
Another sponsor off our list, by
But
the way.
James.
Brian's
And hey,
organic market.
I will say it. I had a juice. I had was it pomegranate or? Oh, no, grapefruit juice. That's what grapefruit tastes like. It was stinging my tongue. It's like, oh, these people do it properly.
Very sour.
They do it properly. It is proper food there. There's none of your Woolworths crap that's preserved for you, James. You can have it 6 weeks later and the tomato is still the same. No. Everything there fresh. But we'll talk about Bryanston Organic Market. We got to move on now, James. I know you got lots of comments about hippies and you hate hippies, but sorry, we can't talk about that right now.
I actually have more comments about how I don't shop at Woolworths, but we've got sports things to
We do.
discuss, so-
We do. Hey, that was back to the closet. Oh my God.
I may be rethinking the name.
But patent that. Listen.
Patent.com.
It's in the
You're on
think
there
pot.
already.
Sorry.
It's in the think pot. There's
No idea is a bad idea.
no bad idea in brainstorming.
I'm opening patent.com
Yeah,
again
not a single bad idea in brainstorming. Paulo.
Subscribe.
Oh,
to
subscribe.
Theopolis, huh? Oh, what a loser. He's
Should I-
got Crocs. Anyway, let's get
Yeah.
back to sport. Good stuff there, guys. Good chat.
Theopolis and Shell.
Oh,
Or
Michelle.
Mesh.
Oh, she's crying. She's bawling. I tried so hard. My mother said. You're better off. Move on.
Save your tears.
Yeah.
Not worth
Go
that guy.
crockless. That should be all relationship advice, every sort of therapist. As you walk in, are you crockless? Yes. All right, sit down. What's the problem in the relationship?
Yeah.
Are you crockless? No, my husband has 2 pairs. Get out of here. I can't help you.
Crockpot
Crockpot.
is the show.
He was a
Crockpot.
crockpot.
Because we're looking for crocs.
Like, I hear you. Crockpot, like crackpot. James, you're smarter than you look. A hell of a lot smarter than you look. All right, let's move on. I want to talk about Thomas Tuchel and why he's a perfect fit for Chelsea. But before we get into that, as I've learned, I'm actually getting older. I just realized I'm getting older. Shock horror. People age every year. Call it a birthday. I'm getting older. I'm about to have my 35th one. And here's one thing I've learned along the way. You might agree, you might not agree. But the only way to peace, folks, is if you want to be in a relationship, and most of us do. If you don't, that's okay. But if you want to, and I'm talking professional, personal, if you want to be in relationships and for them to work, is that you need to accept people for who they are, not who you want them to be. Now, that's really hard, right? Is the very nature of mankind, human beings, is we are so selfish. And it's hard to admit that, but I want what I want. I want what I want all the time. Then you compromise. You get reasonable people like Paolo and James, and you get clowns like me who just want what they want all the time. That's why I'm single. That's why these 2 fine gentlemen are happily married and in a relationship. No relationship's easy, by the way. It's not perfect. I'm not saying you have to be the perfect husband, perfect wife. But what you must do, and the starting point, is you must accept people for who they are, not who you want them to be. If you meet a lady and she doesn't want to have kids, and 5 years later you get upset at her, that's not on her. That's on you. She told you what the story was. You thought, I can change her, and if she's with me, blah, blah, blah. People don't change, folks. Accept people for who they are. Fit is everything. Fit is everything. I know this better than anybody. I am loyal only to myself right now in my life. That may change. But right now, I am not a person who should be in a relationship because I don't accept people for who they are. And I want people to fit into my narrative. Sorry, that's not how you get in relationships. I am going to be on my own for a while. That's just how it goes. You want to be in a relationship? You can ask everybody. The 2 gentlemen in this room, they will tell you. Compromise. I don't compromise. So I'm not in a relationship. Accept people for who they are. That's peace. That's peace. Fit matters. Accept people for who they are. Listen, Thomas Tuchel is the perfect fit at Chelsea. When I looked at it again, it is the perfect fit at Chelsea. It could not fit better. Let me tell you why. Tuchel's last 2 jobs, Borussia Dortmund, actually his 2 biggest jobs that he's ever had. Borussia Dortmund lasted 2 years. PSG lasted 1 year and 6 months. People don't change. People are who they are. Thomas Tuchel's not in a legacy business. He will upset people. Yeah, we know he upset Neymar, so he clearly is not. He is not in the business of being popular. He is in the business of doing it his way. That is not a long-term relationship prospectus. Tuchel, last 2 jobs, the big jobs he's had, Dortmund 2 years, PSG 1 year and a half. Dortmund don't fire managers, by the way. They do not fire managers. 2 years and 1 year, 6 months. That's who he is, right? He's not marriage material. And not everybody is. He's not marriage material. It's perfect for Chelsea. Roman Abramovich is maybe the least loyal human being, and I love him for it. I guess it resonates with my personality type. He is not interested in who you are. Are we winning? Stay. Are we losing? Get the hell out. That's the policy. It's perfect. Tuchel's a mercenary. I care about me. I'm a gun for hire. Point the gun, I'll shoot it. It's perfect. Abramovich says, oh, this guy's going to be here 1 year and a half. You know what he's going to do after 1 year and a half? He's going to upset Mason Mount. And you know what we do? Move on. And it's perfect because they know that. Tuchel knows that. It's perfect. Both are not loyal. Both understand we're not marriage material. And everybody is disposable outside of Roman Abramovich. They're self-aware. Chelsea and Tuchel, soulmates till the end. They're soulmates till the end. It's now that I think about it. Took me some time. I was like, ooh, Lampard. I did a James. I was in my fields. I thought, oh, they fired Lampard. But the more and more you looked at it, Tuchel and Chelsea are perfect for one another. Dortmund don't fire people. They just don't. He only lasted 2 years. He'd upset everybody. Folks, the yellow wall supported Jurgen Klopp and he nearly got them relegated in that last season. They were with him till the end, till the death. They're fan-owned and they will back you to the hilt. PSG, but it was still a year and 6 months and he was gone. He's not marriage material. Chelsea are not in the marriage business. Chelsea are the midlife crisis guy is, I will have a 21-year-old model and a Ferrari. I've been divorced 4 times. No problem. They move on. Neither's loyal and they are soulmates. And I think you got to know who you are. Paula, you're in lots of business, personal relationships. I mean, for me, accept people for who they are. And I think I just can't think of a better fit for Chelsea. Tuchel's perfect. He's shown you it is 2 big jobs that he's had. 2 years is the most I'm staying.
And what a fit. And everyone goes into it knowing what is going to happen. Managers now can't be shocked when Roman fires you. He knows 18 months, 2 years, no matter what you win, that's it. That's what you're going to do.
Yeah.
The model obviously works. The Lampard thing was probably the first break from the model. It seemed that they wanted to build a legacy. That was a weird appointment. Only appointed because he was Frank Lampard, less than anything. Frank Lampard probably thought he was going to change Chelsea, change Roman. It's like, that's not going to happen.
So disappointed.
You're not going to do that.
Yeah.
And, Tuchel knows. It's not about buying new players, not about the players I want. This is what I got. This is what I'm given. And I'm going to play my way. And in 2 years' time, I'll get a nice payoff. Well done. Well done. And it's a match made in heaven. He's probably the perfect coach. And more, I think you're probably going to see coaches, especially from the continent coming into England, that are more like that. That understand this is like the gig economy in football.
Yeah.
Short term,
Yeah.
I'm coming in freelance football managers. Fantastic.
Like Tuchel's personality, right? Intense, demanding. Like it's actually about him.
And you'll burn out the players, and
100%.
it'll end
He's done it twice now.
terribly.
And Dortmund, it was so ugly at the end.
PSG,
Ugly.
it'll end terribly, but you know what's fun? And then you go, bye-bye, next. Who's next? And next. It's fine.
And he won't work at like a Liverpool, right? Like people's club.
And even at the time when his name was being floated around United, it won't. Because
too corporate.
no, and everybody wants this legacy.
No.
Oh, it's like it doesn't work there. Let's be honest.
And it happens in life, like people try and change people. And listen, the worst thing in the world is happening right now in life. There are elders who are getting young people to talk to me. Imagine how bad this is for society. Asking me for advice, career advice, young people, they're being sent by my elders.
Oh,
right?
my word.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And the first thing I say to every single young person I meet, number one, your first job, because you know what they all say. All of them. I've got like 4 now on the spin. I'm not really into the mentorship thing, but whatever. You can use whatever word you like. Number one, seek stability. It's the first thing I always say to them. Before we even get started, if we're going to hang out, seek stability in your first job, because you know what they all say. I want to express myself. I shut the hell up. Go and find somewhere where you can work. Go and research the company, I always say to them. Research the company. What's the ownership like? Are they smart? Are they loyal? How long has the business been open? You know, that kind of stuff. Seek stability. I don't want you going to a place where the internet doesn't work and they don't pay the bills at the end of the month and you're still trying to learn how to work. You're 21 years old. You got no clue what's going on.
Imagine Chelsea didn't pay the internet bill at the end. And players are like walking around like, loading data.
Tammy Abraham's trying to book his barber to touch up his highlights and he's got no signal.
It doesn't look like Tammy I don't think footballers these days book barbers. I think they have their own on staff.
Yeah,
they have to.
Well, that's what I meant. Is he's trying to get in touch with the guy to get him to his house after training because he's not playing this weekend anyway. Might as well get a fresh trim. He is done.
They're important. Fresh trims are important.
It is. James, you're into it, huh?
I am.
Just like the young people I mentor. Anyway, the second thing I always say to them is people don't change. So when you get to your workplace, understand something. There are successful people, and that's how they do it. Because you know, young people. Paolo, we were young. I was young. Well, I'm getting old. But when you're young, you think the world is amazing and dandy. And listen, people don't change.
They just become less or more of who they were. So either you soften, but you still stay the same, or you actually go like full in.
There we go. And Tuchel's not going to change. Roman is not going to change. They're perfect for one another. Lampard was on a one-way street to hiding as well. If he thought he could change Roman Abramovich.
I'm glad that happened with Frank Lampard. I got to be honest with you. That smug little Lampard running around in his Chelsea shirt. He was such a smug little...
Listen to Paolo.
Oh.
How do you really feel?
Yeah, how long has this been on your chest?
Frank Lampard.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
And then you go, oh, manager, look at Frank Lampard, little Frankie. I'm so glad it's ended that way.
Wow.
Wipe that little smugness off his face.
I am so glad.
He's been holding that in for a while.
He's got such a smug little face, Frank Lampard. I'm so glad that happened to him.
I just, at this stage, I think it's important to note, as I have been working on getting him as a guest on the show. He will be on the show, hopefully in a month's time or so.
You can tell him.
Oh, you will be on the show as well. I will tell him that.
Make sure it's a Monday or a Friday.
No. Well, hopefully Paolo's on the show every single day then.
I'll say it's Frank. And I just feel getting knocked down.
So, listen, Frank.
Knocked down a peg or two.
Paolo basically said you got the job because your uncle's Harry, you know, and Jamie Redknapp, your
No. I didn't say, listen, I said
Supersport.
enough incriminating stuff.
Also, Frank, we will be playing this clip when you're on the show.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
For you to watch on the show.
You know what, Paolo, as a mate, I'm so glad we created the safe space for you to let that off your chest. James, how long do you think he's had that on his chest? Hey, that came from somewhere deep inside.
I think, you know what I think happened is Paolo was going through Twitter the one day, constantly searching to see what the updates on Lampard's career was. And then he found that he had been sacked. And Paolo did backflips off the ceiling.
No, I didn't do backflips. I just thought, you have these guys who just have it so easy. He's never had a battle for anything, and he was just so unrealistic in that Chelsea job. He thought he was going to change Chelsea. He had been in Chelsea, he had been in that machine his whole career, and then he thinks he's going to change it.
He got AVB fired along with Terry and the boys.
Constantly. How many managers did they get fired? Whatever Frankie and Terry wanted, they got. And the same thing happened to him. It was serendipitous.
But
and then he got whitewashed.
Serendipity.
Just like you will in drugs.
Wow, Paolo. So all that hate in your heart for Frank Lampard, I'm glad it's off your chest.
Schadenfreude. That's a German word.
Schadenfreude, yeah.
For you, Tuchel.
Cannon fodder. What did you say?
Schadenfreude.
Oh.
Yeah, there's no way you've ever heard that after. There is no chance that made it
There's
anywhere.
no English equivalent of it. It's just one of those words like bon voyage. Like, you can translate it, but it's like, it's only exists.
Isn't bon voyage like farewell?
Yeah.
But it's more than that. It's like loving.
Right.
Yeah, it's tough to try.
It's like grill in Afrikaans.
Yeah,
there's no like English translation.
Yeah,
for it.
there's another. Yeah, exactly.
James earlier didn't know what grammar was, right? Like we were talking about the rules of the English language. So just to let you know what the after is talking about. He was talking about he's not really into the verbs and adjectives, and I said, oh, what do you mean? The foundation of the language, the rules, so you can actually use it. Yeah, he's not into that. He says, no, I'm not into
It's
that.
not my vibe.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, his words. It's not my vibe. Adjectives and not really good at.
Okay, excuse me.
Oh, but hold on. That comes with another comment. I nearly got a distinction for English in high school. He
I
says.
did. I got 78%.
Says
Well done, James.
Thank you.
Well done.
I don't buy it.
Congratulations.
And it was all because of like poetry and the film study thingy, and then there was one more, play study. thingy.
Obviously, the
How do
film
you-
study didn't involve camera setup.
Yeah.
I look over there to my right.
I think I've done a phenomenal job.
Oh man, James, a lot of your stuff comes out on the show here, huh?
It does.
Now, how does it feel? You hurt your feelings? I mean, I should ask you. I should be more. My mom said I should be a better person. I should be more empathetic. So, how do you feel? You know, I'm not constantly ribbing you and giving you a jab. It's got to kind of be eroding your feelings, huh?
I can't say much, but what I will say is over the last 2 years or so, my skin has become a lot thicker due to circumstance and situation.
You know what the thing is? He said 2 years in a row. He's only been working with you for 2 months, but it feels like 2 years.
Oh, I see
So
what
I
you're
think
saying.
that's the correlation.
Yeah,
there.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's only been 2 months.
No, I'm talking.
So you're saying this is a terrible job?
No, I'm talking.
You're saying, oh, MKT, he's a tyrant. You get to work, big ego. He doesn't do anything. He makes me do everything. It's like this is a silent cry to his mom to come save him or whatever, you know? James, is that what you're saying? I'm a tyrant. I need to change my ways. Is that what's going on?
No. I was talking about
Previous
See, like I
circumstance.
said, I can't say much. In the
In case you get fired here and then you got to go back to your other job. That's smart.
I-
Play both sides. That's
I-
smart. Machiavellian.
I didn't say I was talking about my previous job.
James, you're into all of that, huh? You said you're into plays and complicated stuff like that. You know
I
who
like plays and
Niccolo Machiavelli is?
I know the name, not an awful lot more than that.
Where do you know the name? What do you mean you know the name? What you see him at Woolworths?
No, it's just the surname that sounds familiar.
Machiavelli, yeah. It's The Prince. You look up a book called The Prince. Good book. It'll be like you playing both sides. You know, the prince has to wear 2 hats. All of that stuff.
Is it like the Prince and the Pauper, or is that a completely
No,
different?
now we need to take a break because now, folks, I don't believe that James nearly got a distinction for
I
English.
did. I got 78%.
Where's your marks? Does your mum have them?
No, they're at my house.
All right, take a photo and bring it in, and then we'll have it up as a graphic. We don't have to see your other marks because listen, my marks were a train smash, by the way. C's and D's. I barely stayed in my school. They wanted to kick me out. Luckily, my parents lived overseas at the time. Couldn't come through. It would have been a disaster. I was not a smarty at school.
Well, look, here you are.
Some might say nothing's changed. I wasn't a smart then. I'm not smart now.
Well, look, those are your words.
Yeah.
I didn't say those.
All right.
That was you.
All right. Wow. Hurt my feelings. You know what? Maybe we should hug. It's been quite an aggressive start to the show. I'm projecting.
You
Ja-
are again.
Yeah. James, not so smart, but that's not on me. Says he got a distinction. Doesn't really understand the rules of the English language.
See, now you're putting words in my mouth. I didn't get a distinction. Almost 78% is 2% away.
You didn't even. Paulo, guy didn't know what tautology was. How you get through matric at St. Stithians, you don't know the word tautology.
Is that the practice of being taught?
Doesn't even know what
All right.
tautology is.
You know what? Let's hug for a little bit. Let's hug for a couple of minutes in a row. We're gonna let this simmer because it's gotten quite aggressive in here.
It has. It's
James,
heated.
You feeling belittled, James?
Not really.
Okay.
So I told you, thick skin.
Thick skin. Last 2 years, went through some stuff. Couple of girlfriends probably broke up with him. But luckily, James, you got a great girlfriend now. She sounds awesome. Your mom sounds awesome. Your family sounds awesome. Paolo's awesome. I'm somebody you work with. So we're going to hug it out in the break, and then we'll be back. This is the MKT Show, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take a little, what we call an intermission.
What did you call it, Paolo? Hug time.
I did call it hug time. Patent.
Patent.com. James is going to get on.
I'm going to bookmark the page.
All right. See you in a bit. MKT Show. From what I've read, the best tech company, the best analytics in Germany. So don't worry about it. We love you. You're in-house. You're one of ours. You're innovative. You match the company's ethos. Perfect. Everything works. Everything is set up for him. And the most important thing, he'll be given time because they love him. He's one of their own. Then his next job is Bayern Munich. And I wouldn't take it now because Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, go and Google this man. He's another guy who doesn't play around. Do not go to Tottenham. It is not a stable place, just like every young person. Listen, Nagelsmann's next job is his first job. It's actually his first proper job. Everything now is kushti. You know these people that they still live at home and they're still working. It's not a real job. You're interning somewhere at your uncle's company. That's what's going on right now. He's about to have his first job. And do not pick an unstable place. The only clubs I would go to outside of Germany right now are Man City. Right? Man City would be the one. It's a very stable organization. It's got the most important thing. Deep pockets in the owner, right? Super deep pockets in the owner. And they've got a culture. It's stable. City's not going anywhere. Tottenham could be 15th next season. You don't know that. They just fired a guy who got them to a cup final. I don't understand what the mandate is at Spurs. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm MKT. This is the MKT Show. Just a reminder, you can get the podcast of the show. Don't know, maybe you're all about wine with the girls on Friday nights, you know, or this afternoon. You're at work, you're grinding, and your boss is like, hey, deadlines, synergy, conglomerates. Analytics. These are business words. Maybe you're doing that.
Hypothesis.
Slightly different, but also a business word. You want to catch the podcast, you can go to the Cliff Central app, cliffcentral.com, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. The MKT Show is the name of the podcast.
Have any of our podcasts misbehaved? Because I believe Apple Podcasts, some aren't there in general in the world. So if you go look on Apple for our podcast, just be patient. Steve Jobs' ghost is fixing it.
Oh,
Okay.
that's gonna yeah.
So
That's
apparently,
really nice of him.
yeah, no, it's because he broke it,
Yes.
and then now they're fixing it.
Well, it's a reminder, Tim Cook, you've gone a bit corporate. What about the clients?
So some people are finding that Apple Podcasts aren't updating, but they
Guys,
should.
you
Also-
know that conversation we had about...
And we've got clever people here in this building that'll be fixing that
Yeah.
for you.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
don't be afraid. And if you're going to miss one, miss today's.
Yeah, I would say that.
I was about to say, you know the conversation we had during the hug time about we haven't done a lot of sport, we should do more sport.
Yeah. Probably go to sport now. But having said that, Apple Podcasts is maybe the worst platform ever. We do want them as a sponsor, and Apple, I'd love to work with you. Fix Apple Podcasts. I'll never use it. But rate us. Please rate us. Give us a 5-star
You're a
rating.
terrible platform, but we'd love to work with
Yeah,
you.
yeah. I mean, listen, Apple, I will take your money, but we're going to have to talk about what you're doing
Frank
with your...
Lampard is a shareholder in Apple. Makes sense. Please come on our show.
All right, let's get back to some sports. Clearly,
bit
as you can
triggered.
tell, we are big tech people.
Yes.
Anyway, rate us, like us, the MKT Show. That's the podcast. We're going to get into a segment now. Let's get straight to some sport. A lot of people saying, "Hey, this is a sports show. Get some sport." If you're watching the show right now, click like. Do people? Hey, click the thumbs up, James.
The thing is, if you're watching, don't forget to like, subscribe, turn those post notifications on.
Oh yes, I'm supposed to do
The
all of
whole
that
vibe,
influencer stuff. Hey?
And you have to like look into the camera and be like, high energy. It's
It
all.
ain't gonna happen. You listen. You know what to do. There's a thumb. Push it. Subscribe. Click the bell. We're on every day at 12 o'clock. I
There
mean,
you
come
go.
on. Let's move on, James. Social media with James.
James.
Nice.
That's good.
Nice layers.
Yeah.
That's-
If only there was a way of doing this on a computer. If only.
Do you mean what? Having it set every day, so
Having
that
it,
because
like,
it's a segment we do
having it-
every day.
Having a jingle made.
Yeah, having something ready,
Social media.
I
and
said
then-
I'd do it.
standardized, a standardized jingle. Is that what you're saying? Are you
Yeah.
suggesting we pre-produce this, pre-prod, if you will?
I said I'd help James. I said James deserves one. But then,
You didn't do it. You moved on with your life.
laziness. Pogba versus Drogba, so much research.
Yeah, no, it's a big. It is.
Just don't know.
Yeah.
Just don't know.
Hey, listen, that's a teaser. Oh, here's what I should have done. Coming up,
Coming up,
Drogba
Drogba.
or
Drogba.
Pogba.
Pogba.
That's the
Pogba,
teaser.
Pogba.
But for now, okay, let's get into social media with James.
With James. We got a couple of interesting things this morning. There was breaking news during the show, actually. JP Morgan has pulled out of the Super League, so their financial injection into the Super League,
wow.
they've pulled out, so they are no longer, which will essentially see the Super League fall regardless of Barcelona, Juve, and
Now that is the
Real's
situation.
position.
Listen, quite frankly, Florentino
quite
Perez.
frankly,
Yeah, that's going back to
to put it
Lampard.
frankly,
No problem. Perez knows 100 bankers around the world. JP Morgan, it would be nice to have them, because then that also gives it a bit of a gravitas. But move on. He's
The
a
thing that
billionaire.
I said though about this was before the whole thing collapsed. I think when we talk about Tuesday and then Tuesday night the whole thing started collapsing, is like we should not have worried about a Super League because the guys running it, look at their football clubs. Manchester United have absolutely botched and waste money and not won a significant trophy in 7 years. That's one of the teams running it.
Yep.
Real Madrid, something almost $1 billion in debt,
Yeah.
wasting money on players. This was just there's no Galacticos. I can't afford a Galactico, so Perez needs a smoke screen to take away from the money. That's one of the men running it. Barcelona, $1 billion in debt, messing up the succession plan of the greatest footballer ever. This is one of the people running it. Juventus spent the house money on Ronaldo and the effects to win a Champions League, meaning they got no money to buy any new players, can't appoint a coach. This is one of the men running it. AC Milan sold their club to a man with no money.
Yeah. A Chinese guy with no money.
He had no money, and they are owned by a hedge fund. This is one of the clubs behind it. Inter Milan, not much better. So, I mean, that's just another case in point. The people running this, it's like, I honestly think, billionaires aren't necessarily the smartest people.
Sure.
I honestly think that it seems like they consulted with absolutely nobody. Just the 12 of them just went, yeah, we should do this. We're pretty rich. We should be able to do it. Get someone on Twitter, get a designer to make the logo.
Terrible
It's just another case of like, what the hell, guys? Like, how did you plan this
maybe
thing?
it was all like a scheme to do this, get the investment from JP Morgan, and then after a season they've seen that there's still outcry about the Super League and stuff, and then they disband it because people are unhappy, but they've already made their 3.5 billion, gotten themselves out of debt. Maybe that's what happened.
What about this? Bully UEFA and say, hey, we don't really need you. And now, from what I read, Seferin's trying to get £2 billion more for the new format. And I'm guessing the big teams are going to go, all right. Okay.
Well, the new Champions League is Super League by stealth because not only does it put more teams in, means it is less likely for one of them to not qualify. They've got that legacy spot, which based on your coefficients and past performance, shelters teams. So like, for example, this season, if it had happened now, if Liverpool or Chelsea don't finish in the top 4, one of them would go in.
Yeah, but it starts 2024, huh?
In 2024.
Yeah, but I see what you're saying.
If it had happened now.
Yeah.
So this new Champions League format is a dog show.
So it's worked. Maybe the bullying's worked, Paolo. That's a good point.
It's going to mean more rubbish matches. Honestly, more rubbish football matches.
So that is actually one of the parts of social media with James today.
Okay. Before we're going to get to that, huh? Okay, we're going to get to that.
Yeah, so, okay, Gundogan. I saw you retweeted last night, so you know what I'm about to say. I don't know if you've seen it.
I've seen it, yeah.
Came out and said, with all the Super League stuff going on, can we please also speak about the new Champions League format? More and more games. No one is thinking about us players. The new Champions League format is just the lesser of two evils in comparison to the Super League.
100%.
And the thing is, it's not. It's actually... so the new Super League is actually the worst option. As a player...
The new Champions League,
yes,
you mean?
The Champions League's worse because as a player, I have to play more games and I'm still earning the same money. They're not going to bump... If they'd gone into the new league, you had better believe the players have gone, awesome, we're here now, we're putting up with backlash, I'd like to double my wages. So this is worse for players.
And I mean...
But he can't say that.
And for fans, right? So, I mean, like, honestly, what value is there in watching Man City play Ferencvaros? And like, I'm somebody who speaks from a supporter of a small league. What value is that? I honestly would rather watch Man City playing Barcelona in a semi-meaningful match more often than who watches the group stage of the Champions League.
It's too long now.
Now there's just more.
It's
There's just
too
more
long
that
now.
rubbish.
What is...
Paolo's nailed it. The Champions League's too long now. This idea that... But again, it goes back to the stupid and it's the social justice warrior mentality. And, oh, you know what? UEFA, you know what they are? Pen pushers. So they want to include and everybody, let's be nicey and let's all get a shake. Okay, Michelle, do you have a shake? Chris, do you have a shake? Shut the hell up. I've said this before. The greatness of something is not the height. Real Madrid, Barcelona, that's not how you judge the beauty of the Champions League, the quality of the Champions League. At Harvard, it's not about the smartest people at Harvard. It's about who's the dumbest people you let in at Harvard. That's what when you're elite. 16 clubs, everybody go home. Everybody else, go home. We'll have the Europa League and you're going to have Kaizer Chiefs in there for all I care. Who cares? But the Champions League should be 16 teams.
You know, the other day we did Euro 2000, which was 16-team tournament. We said, well, that's much better because it's so small. And now the Euro is bigger and third-place teams get in and there's extra rounds, there's extra games, there's extra people. I goes, what have you done? We know the World Cup's going to 48 teams. I mean,
48 teams.
It's so stupid.
Really?
Come on.
But again, it's the stupid mentality of today. But it makes sense to me because UEFA and FIFA is just a bunch of rule makers. So all they ever thinking is, let's include everyone. More people at the table is better decisions. Nonsense.
That is going to be the longest tournament in the whole world.
There are only 6 teams who can win the World Cup. We all know who they are. You only need another 12 teams and make 6. We need 18 teams at the World Cup.
And 6 is generous. 6 is very generous.
Elite.
Especially because it's a long tournament. Now you're going to probably add 2 weeks on top of that to get through 48.
I don't watch look, I live in South Africa. I do not watch the PSL. You know why? I feel like I could play in it. Sorry, some of these teams, San Marino, what are they doing in a Euro qualifier?
They've never gone better. That's on them.
Yeah, San Marino.
Get better, guys.
That's true. That's true.
Come on.
Yeah, they are terrible.
Just get better.
How can you
get good.
Well, isn't that the point? So that's why UEFA include teams like San Marino and Gibraltar. Okay, Gibraltar on you. San Marino, Faroe Islands, they include them, the competition. Those guys have been trounced for 25, 30 years. They've never gone better. It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
It's the stupid thing of including too many people.
Work.
Not everybody should be included in things. Sorry, James. What is
going
next?
back to James?
LOL. All right, James, what you got? It's your segment. He's in his fields, folks.
I'm just shook as I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
Guys,
Yes.
tomorrow is a big day.
Happy birthday, James, if that's what you want.
Yeah, I mean, wait.
Fine, we got it.
Jeez.
Jeez, James.
It's already been my birthday.
Unbelievable.
Tomorrow is a big day, though.
Uh-huh.
In the world of South African football.
Let's hear it.
Tomorrow is the announcement of the new Bafana coach. You would love this. I don't know if you've heard. There's a Portuguese dude in the running. So Hugo Broos, whatever it is,
Belgian guy, very old.
has apparently pulled out and taken a job in Saudi, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's the quality of the football, the way of living. That's what he's chasing in Saudi Arabia. It's nothing else.
There you go.
It's not the money.
No. There's a Portuguese guy. I don't know how to say his name, but Paolo would.
I promise.
That dude.
This Portuguese guy, I knew, because I know this Portuguese guy. Okay, so happened to be Bafana coach before, was Manchester United assistant
I
coach.
forget, James doesn't know him.
Credited for probably turning Ronaldo into the machine he was Portugal coach, was Real Madrid coach.
Never heard of him.
Colombia coach.
Was Fergie's most trusted assistant.
Probably the man who the success Portugal have now was because of him.
Never heard of him.
Bought through Rui Costa, Figo.
Never
Yes.
heard of him.
Yeah. The man James is talking about is Carlos Queiroz.
That's his name.
Yeah, so James, he was here. He's the
He's-
highest. He's the
he's
highest paid Bafana coach in the history of the association. by the
He's
way.
kind of a big deal. He's probably one of the most influential figures in the background of
Yeah.
football
No,
through the 90s.
Yeah.
In FIFA, he's super respected in FIFA.
Yeah.
Okay,
As a
well,
coach.
in all
But anyway,
fairness,
that
in
Portuguese
the
guy.
90s, I was
You were
Not
just
born.
a thought.
Not even born.
Yeah.
exactly.
Thought.
So
No, but anyway, so that is the other coach. I find that one quite interesting because obviously, listen, he had unfinished business here because he qualified South Africa for 2002 and then got nixed at the last minute. Joe Masono actually led the team to the World Cup. Queiroz is a fantastic coach, got fantastic pedigree, urbane. I believe he still has a house here, and if I'm not mistaken, his daughter still lives here. So he does have connections, and he always speaks about how, I mean, this guy was assistant to Fergie. He was like spoken about as Fergie's successor. He went to Real Madrid,
He was the head coach of Real Madrid.
head coach of Real Madrid. So he's got great pedigree. He's bounced around. He was with Iran at the last World Cup. Yes, he took Iran to the last World. Yes, well, definitely was Iran or Iraq.
One of the two.
One of the two.
Yeah.
I know he played against Portugal.
Hey, RNKQ. You know, it's so close.
I know it's
Iran,
I know it's
Iraq.
disrespectful, but it was either one. I think it was Iran.
Where does George Bush keep his CDs?
Terrible.
In Iraq.
careful.
That's a nightmare.
Careful.
In Iraq.
In Iraq. Okay, that's terrible. Queiroz, though, is currently Colombia coach.
Ah.
And it's going to take a lot of that hidden Escobar money, I assume.
Yeah.
No, but he's currently Colombia coach. I just find it really has to be a personal attachment and a sign of unfinished business, of which Queiroz does seem to be the guy to come back, because certainly come on, Colombia versus South Africa, I'd rather be able to call on Falcao and James Rodriguez and Cuadrado.
Yeah.
And have a chance of having a last 16 run at a World Cup.
Maybe he's blown his chance.
I get it. Yeah. Look, maybe the offer's nothing to sniff at, you know?
Hey.
Drugs. That's a drug reference, James. It's about
Let's
drogas.
go. Some of the stuff on this show is for us. All right, Carlos.
Who are the other?
Who are the other people?
Who are the other candidates?
I
You
don't
didn't
like
look.
I don't like coke.
Yeah,
I just
no.
like the smell of it. The last candidate is
Mom listens to the show, by the way. Okay.
Herve,
By the way, Mr. Rickson, we don't. I don't do drugs.
Herve Renard is the other one.
Yes.
Now, Herve Renard is probably the most successful African coach.
And maybe the best looking guy
Oh.
on the continent.
That guy can wear a white shirt. Have you seen him
Yeah,
shirtless?
I haven't.
Do me a favor.
I haven't.
Google. That'll be the first thing that'll come out. Google Herve Renard.
No,
So he's won with Morocco.
Yeah.
Well, he's
Cameroon.
been at Morocco. He won with Zambia. Has he been Nigeria?
I don't know. He's good though.
He's been Ivory Coast. He was with
Ivory
Ivory
Coast.
Coast. He was
Cote
Ivory
d'Ivoire, yeah.
Coast. That is a top class coach. And if anybody listen, look. If Safa is going at that level, because I don't know what they tried on the last appointment. Do me a favor. I don't know what they were trying.
For
right?
15 years. What are they doing?
Okay. If they do go and bring in Queiroz and more specifically Renard, and neither of those two can turn the team around, because that's what they're trying to do.
Sure.
They're putting a plaster.
Yep.
Those two, unless they're given full control of everything, all it is window dressing.
Yep.
But quite frankly, if neither of those two can turn Bafana around, or even get at anything, collapse the whole thing, close it up, shut it down,
Close
because
the doors, boys.
those are two men that understand football, African football. They're top, as good a coaches as you can get in this environment. And if we can't get anything out of those two, shut it down, close it.
I'd be
Close the door.
surprised if they did go with either of those two for the very reason you
Huge.
said. If there's one thing politicians hate, is being shown up for the incompetent buffoons that they are, and that's who runs SAFA. Danny Jordan being at the very top. I cannot stand the sight of him. I'd be shocked if they got either of those two, because as Paulo says, they screw it up with them. That's a SAFA problem. I mean, we have a SAFA problem, but then it's like, oh, okay, it wasn't the coaches, it was them. James, what you got next? Paulo, great point.
Good point, Paolo.
Thank you, friend.
Nice job.
What is this, Montessori? Get on to the next
I was
question.
just telling Paolo, good job.
Yeah, Paulo's got a wife for that. Don't worry about it. Move on.
I think that's where we're drawing that line.
Yeah.
UEFA is apparently working tirelessly with its lawyers to remove Real Madrid from this season's Champions League, which means
There's an L on tirelessly there. What does it mean?
I think so. So look, I think that move is wrong. I believe, and there's a reason Seferin named people. You know what? Despite what you think, don't punish the clubs. I felt uncomfortable when they're saying kick out Chelsea, kick out City, because who suffers? The fans. The fans suffer. Punish Woodward, punish Allegri, punish Perez, punish the morons involved in this, punish the executives.
How do you punish them though?
Find them, kick them out, make it harder for them, ban them from football activities, not allow them to come into the country. Not like they come anyway, but Perez, ban him from football activities. And you can't.
Yeah.
But at least show to be do something. Don't ban the clubs. That hurts the fans.
Harsh on the players and the fans.
They had nothing to do with it. Ban those executives. Glazers are never allowed in England. Do that.
Yeah.
The Henry, never allowed. Not like they come, but never allow them.
Yeah.
Make it hard. Put a tax on them. Every signing they make, they got to pay a tax. You know what I mean? Punish the men. Leave the clubs. The fans did nothing. And that hurts the fans. They don't get it.
I never thought about it like that, but I like that.
Awesome.
I like that.
And there's a reason Seferin named men, people. He didn't name the clubs.
Snakes, he called them.
He named people. There's a reason.
No? Hey. Gotta love that. What we got next, Jimbo?
Last one before the YouTube comments.
Alrighty.
Wembley Stadium to host more Euro 2021 matches as UEFA seeks to reward the FA for its role in the collapse of the Super League.
Reward the FA. No. What's happening is that the Premier League is the richest league in the world, and they need the Premier League on board. That's all that's happening there. But let me tell you something. There is another side of that story. Tell you a great story. By the way, the best meat I've ever had in my whole life, and I am a foodie. Argentina, the steak, but treated pork in Bilbao. I went to Bilbao where the guy kicked one of the stores. I think I've told the story where I was wearing a white shirt and it looked like I was wearing a white.
Yeah.
But I was the guy who was Sociedad fan. He kicked me the hell out of his shop. But anyway, ended up having treated ham in Bilbao, very special part of the world. They take culinary things very seriously. They also run with the bulls. Bilbao. They just had the games taken away from them, and they are steaming. My friend who is from that region sent me a message because he doesn't love UEFA either. He doesn't love FIFA. They had games taken away from them, and now England are getting it. And hey, if you know history, Spanish people and
Dublin also lost their games, their Euro games. So look, I mean,
Paulo, how double hate? You know what the Spanish think of the English. You know what the Irish think of the English. Whoa.
You know what I'm saying? But listen, if UEFA are very lucky to have the English FA in their stable because
organized.
The English could put on a World Cup tomorrow.
Yeah.
You could tell them 48 hours World Cup, they'll do it. So you're fortunate to have that. And FIFA have got America as the fail-safe. But it's like, so it'll always fall to them.
Yeah, but let me be clear. Bilbao, by the way, they probably look it up, James. I think Bilbao have put in legal paperwork. They are not happy at all about that situation. And obviously the back end of that story was that they couldn't assure that they can fill the stadiums in Spain. Of course, Spain, one of the hot spots for this tiny little thing. You haven't heard about it. It's been around for about a year and a half now. It's called COVID-19. So they couldn't assure.
What's that?
And St. Petersburg picked up Dublin's matches.
Oh, in Russia.
So,
Putin,
yeah.
come in here. By the way, one of the greatest art capitals of the world. James, you always say, I'm creative. I like art. I nearly got a distinction, but I wasn't focused on English. You love art, eh, James? You're a weird creative type. Your words.
Define art, though.
Well, you said you're a weird creative type.
Do I like artwork or do I like...
The chapels. By the way, St. Petersburg, one of the art capitals of the world. Culture capitals. By the way, if you don't know what the balalaika is, you can still attend real modern-day balalaikas. Balalaika, old Russian sort of music and plays. Sounds awful on the ears, but if you're Russian royalty, that is what you do. Balalaikas there and the cathedrals. Oh, you get out of town, St. Petersburg. The fans are going to love it. It's so much better than Dublin. Dublin's basically just a Guinness factory and Catholic churches.
I've been wanting to try a good baklava.
Wrong country, wrong, yeah. All right, baklava. All right, what else we got? By the way, St. Petersburg, sorry. You take the train from Moscow. It is the trip of take me back now. I lived in Russia for 6 months. Probably the best 6 foreign months of my life. Oh, love Russia. Love St. Petersburg. Take the train, James.
I almost forgot something. Sorry. Before I go to the YouTubes.
Yes.
I got sent something yesterday that gives an interesting take on this Super League thing.
By who?
It was sent to me by my brother.
Okay.
And it was a screenshot that he took of a post that he saw. It looks like Twitter. I don't know.
That's okay.
But it has to do with you saying having, UEFA and FIFA by the balls.
Mm-hmm.
And this whole thing gives a relatively interesting take to that.
Mm-hmm.
So it says, the same FIFA bribed by Qatar is about to ban players from World Cups. The same UEFA that can't implement financial fair play is about to ban players from playing Euros. The same FA that can't get VAR right is about to ban the Big Six clubs from their league. I honestly don't see this happening. We aren't being told the full story here just yet. I don't see how these massive clubs will throw their tradition, history, and passionate supporters away for just money.
You know what the thing is? You must always be careful with rule makers and politicians. They are dangerous snake animals, Seferin himself included, because there's no ways he didn't know about what happened at UEFA before. I have no time for him and that lot. But always be careful of rule makers, because you know what? They only care about the job they are in. If the problem with politicians, they're only around for 5 years. So they only care about their legacy in their time.
Yeah.
If I'm a billionaire, do you know what I care about my business? For the next 40 years. So rather listen to... these guys are all cretins. They are all oh, gross. Gross, the lot of them.
All of them.
Oh.
YouTube comments.
All right, let's hear it.
Sam Shapiro says, I feel personally attacked from my SJW office in Rosebank.
And I do know Sham Shapiro.
You do know Sam
Shapiro, nice guy, great guy. He does great work in the LBGTQI plus community, and he's actually one of the best people I know. He is a super good human being. So yes, and he is a social justice warrior, and we do fight about that. But to the core, he is one of the nicest human beings. Hey, Sam, Jewish guy, a mensch.
I'm glad. That sounds like a fantastic person to have listening to our show, because you've got a counterbalance.
Yes.
Because, I think we set out like a bit of a vibe that like we could be douchey. But when you got good people listening, then it goes, okay, we're like
great human.
Counterbalance.
And
That's
big
good.
Liverpool fan.
That's
and
good.
What a
salt
boy.
of it.
I like him.
And honestly, I'm not just saying it because he's my mate. He is an unbelievable, one of the most thoughtful human beings. James, the opposite of you. Thoughtful, kind, nice.
That's an attack on you. That's an attack on you.
You're projecting again.
I am projecting. All right, what's next?
Andrew Thomas says, nice to hear an alternative view on the Super League. There is definitely room for improvement in the Champions League. I think there is some room for improvement, but adding 28 more teams, I think...
But it's so it's like, okay, well done. Everyone patting on the back. We've brought down Super League.
Yeah.
UEFA next. Now go after them. Now go after UEFA.
I agree.
So use that same vitriol. Don't stop it now. Now go after UEFA.
You think it's going to happen?
Well, it won't. But now go after UEFA, because that's where the change needs to happen. These guys took this chance because they saw football was weak. They saw an opportunity. They saw weak leadership. They saw misgovernance, and they saw an opportunity. That didn't go away. The Super League went away. That lack of governance, that mishandling, that didn't go away. Take that on. because UEFA, they just don't do it as aggressively, as blatantly. You know, they do it slowly. It's all very soft. It's 6 years to change, not 6 weeks. You know, Super League was like, end of the season, we're starting.
Yeah.
UEFA's like, 2024. It goes, well, we could discuss, we could workshop, we could dialogue. You won't do any of that. It'll get worse. They'll make changes and make it worse. So let's go after UEFA now. If we're so proud of ourselves, UEFA's next.
Preach.
That's what I'm saying. UEFA and FIFA are next.
Hashtag UEFA out.
Qatar's next. The players are literally going to be playing, and I don't want to be like, I'm not that warrior. Players are literally going to be playing on fields built over the bodies of dead stadium workers because they worked in inhumane conditions to build those stadiums. Players are going to be playing on that. They'll be playing over dead bodies. Fans will be sitting over dead bodies of people who died building in inhumane conditions. That's next, but it won't be. We won't.
That actually has me shook, I'm not going to lie.
We won't.
That is.
No one will do anything, and we'll watch
Cannot
Qatar
improve on
with
what
a
you said.
fat smile on our faces. We'll love it.
I can't.
We'll have the game. We'll do it all.
Cannot
morons.
improve on what Paul is saying. Hey, read the previous comment on YouTube there. I like it. The one below Sam Shapiro's comment.
That's the one I just read.
No. You read the Andrew Tom's. Before that, Nell said something.
Oh, on my side, Neho was underneath Andrew. Money is not the be all and end all. In football, people invest emotions into the game, man.
So Nell also says, dude, been listening to the past couple of days. All I'm seeing is you not really give an F about the facts and traditions of the game. Listen, let me tell you something about power and how it's worked in history.
Sorry, I don't know.
No, don't worry about it.
Comment.
The thing about the word tradition is we've often used this, and we've seen horrendous, the worst of mankind, use the word tradition to hold things and hold societies and mankind to rules that hurt the masses and is fine for men. Tradition is such a dangerous word when we use it to justify madness. UEFA and FIFA are madness. That is not the tradition of football. If anything, UEFA and FIFA actually hurt the real fabric of the game. The game was built to associate. They are making it harder. They are making it worse. I don't want to associate with Olympiacos in the Champions League. Association football is meant to be about people associated. Please, do not for a second think UEFA are about the working class. As Paolo has beautifully just put, I actually don't want to add anything. We're going to clip what Paolo just said because it's one of the most concise, beautiful things I've ever heard said. I do care about the traditions of football. I've said this before, one of my favorite people, and I'm trying to get him on the show, a guy called Simon Critchley, who's a very, very famous philosopher, speaks of football as the working class ballet. James, you'll like him. He's a massive Liverpool fan, and he writes philosophically about Bill Shankly and how that great team was built. So I do care about the traditions, but I will never get caught up in the word tradition to justify madness. Because if you do some research in all history, people say, it's our tradition, man. They say, you guys stop beating women. Yeah, but women, it's our tradition. People said this 20 years ago. America, 100 years ago, it's traditional to beat women. That word tradition, that's lost on me. No. Tradition is, and it should add to the society. It shouldn't hold us back. So tradition is such a dangerous word. And I care deeply about the traditions.
Lovely put, guys.
Yeah.
We are passionate. We are passionate people.
We are.
We are running out of time, though.
And also, great question by Noah. Let's take one more.
Yes, we are running out of time, and we do have a very important segment coming up.
We do.
Rowan wants us to have a fantasy football thing.
All right, we'll get to it.
Great stuff. I actually like the idea. Last one is from CZ. Go after UEFA and go after billionaire owners. Add Safa onto that list.
Yeah, I was going to add that in.
What, Safa?
Go for them. Let's take them down.
No, I couldn't agree more. That's good stuff. James, good segmenting. Good hosting there. Big hosting. James gets a segment.
I'm aware of the times.
Yeah.
And the,
And one of these days, we might, imagine this day, we might actually get a jingle for it. Like a proper show should.
Social media with James.
Ding. James.
Nailed it.
And eventually we'll have that standardized.
Yay.
Okay, let's move on to an actual segment with a proper host. There's nobody on this planet more Portuguese, more proud,
Oof.
better at this,
Yes.
better shoe swag.
Yes. I'm your hype man.
Thinner chain.
Yes.
Not one person on the planet has any of that. But also nobody hosts a game show like this, ladies and gentlemen. Something that's captured the nation. A culture. A cult movement, some people are saying. It's changed lives. There's babies crying.
Oh,
Babies crying.
babies
Do
crying.
you know babies, James?
Is he kissing the babies on the forehead?
Philosophically, hypothetically, he kisses babies in the heart with this because it's captured a nation. Women are squealing. What is this? I don't know. I can't control myself.
Oh.
It's called Drogba versus Pogba. Paulo Diaz. Let's get to it.
I messed that up.
Wrong music. You did mess it up. You did mess it up.
I'm so sorry.
Wrong music. I mean, terrible production by James.
I don't know which one the. I just wanted to go for the hand clap. I was leaving your music up to you.
No. Well, I think it's the one next to it.
He's giving me a dead stare.
The game is Drogba or Pogba. You've not given me much time.
Apologies, sir.
We've got 15 minutes.
But just like the Super League estimated that football matches are too long, perhaps Drogba or Pogba is too long. And maybe we do the condensed express version. Drogba or Pogba starting now.
Good lord. What a time to be alive.
So, because I like to theme it, Jose Mourinho being kind of news this week. Jose Mourinho sacked, sort of like, comes out like an Avengers movie.
No, that happened this week, by the way.
Yeah, it's not so much a headline anymore as an appointment. Like Easter, like a leap year. That's like Easter. It's every 18 months or so.
And just to be clear, there's probably people at home wondering, are we going to cut Drogba, Pogba short? We are not. We got about 15 minutes, Paulo. Don't you worry about it.
Okay.
Big hosting.
I have to adjust my position because James, old.
Do you want me to move over? I can if you want.
No, it's fine. I trust you, James.
Ooh.
So, to the point, Jose Mourinho sacked this week. All the goals we're going to talk about today scored under Jose Mourinho.
Oof.
Both players played for him. Very different relationships.
So that does limit things to Man United and Chelsea, right?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Charity matches. All-star matches. It does make a difference. It's still Drogba or Pogba.
That is a good point. Anyway, it's your show. You go.
Thanks, James.
Yeah.
Only person who's ever put any effort into audio production.
No, it's true. It's true. James can't even push the right button.
Last week was a tight game. How the game works, it's a race to the bottom. It's a 5. If you get it wrong, your opposition immediately gets the point. Sudden death. It's sudden death the whole way through. We've had some ding-dongs.
We have. Last week was a slobber knocker.
What?
We've had some rapscallions.
Are we all just... I'm discombobulated. We're all just saying big words.
Trying too hard, Joe. We all sound like we're Enid Blyton characters. The game is Drogba, Pogba. At stake, your manhood.
Well said.
I wanted to...
James walks into the game tall. Let's begin.
No, wait. Mblelo walks into the game.
No, you are just tall. You're 6'3".
I've been padding because I can't remember who won last week.
It was Mblelo.
As you can tell, it's big production. We do a lot of research and we go back and we...
Winner starts. Winner kicks off.
He started last week, I'm just saying, and I won the week before. I've never started, I'm just saying.
Yellow card for James. First warning.
I'm happy with this. You're the host.
Yellow card on kickoff. Who gets a yellow card on kickoff, James?
James Ilsley.
Steven Gerrard. Have you never seen that clip?
It's like when players get sent off at halftime.
Yeah.
Steven
tunnel.
Gerrard. He was on the field for like 2 minutes. He got yellow and then a red.
God damn, I wish I had an orange card, James, because you would get it right now.
Yeah.
The first game, the answer is either Drogba or Pogba. Very simple.
Yeah.
50-50. Can't go wrong, but you can. 50% chance you can. All the goals scored under Jose Mourinho. Very different relationships with Mourinho and Drogba or Pogba. The opposition were the Young Boys of Bern. Great name. Fantastic. Got a good right back. Like that guy. He's still there. I like him. You don't know what I'm talking about. Neither do I, really. 2 goals in a 3-0 win. If it helps, this player was captain for the day. Maybe he was captain for more. He wore the armband, scored 2 goals against the young boys of Bern.
I think the easy answer would be Drogba, because that'd make more sense. But I think you're trying to trick me here. There must have been a time when Mourinho realized, probably Adidas came to him and said, hey, we paid for Pogba, he's the pin-up boy, you better make him captain, blah, 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 try to cover it. Paulo, it goes against all of my sort of logic. I'd like Paul Pogba.
This is a game of gut feel.
Oh!
And your gut felt right.
So was he.
With your hands and clapping. Well done. On the board, it was Pogba.
Knew it.
It was during that period where Mourinho was trying to placate Pogba and made him captain, hoping that he'd get a performance. And it seemingly did. A group game, Champions League 2018.
You didn't thingy. Just saying.
Big strategy there. You see how I thought about it?
You know, James, I'll tell you something. Watch Umbalelo. He focuses on the game, laser. Cuts out all distractions. You know, sometimes you hear football players that say they don't even hear the crowd. They don't hear the crowd. James sings along with the crowd.
I'm a showman, guys. I'm a showman.
You're going to be a no-man. Like a no-man wins. So anyway.
That dance is incredible.
The opposition, Ajax. The score, a 2-0 win. He got 1. Drogba. James coughs. Dry throat, nervousness.
Sorry.
He tried to cover it up. Not easy to do when there's 2 other microphones in the room.
I didn't want to
One
cough
goal.
into my mic.
1 goal and a 2-0 win. Against Ajax. Drogba or Pogba. All scored under Mourinho. Mourinho would have gone, I pick you. You're my guy today. I choose you to take on the responsibility for the special one. You are my special one. But did he say Didier or Paul? Give me a hug. And go out there and make Daddy Jose proud.
It's gone weird. Sure, this one's actually stumped me. Usually I have somewhat of a gut feeling.
What does your gut say? Other than the fact that it's you've got indigestion.
If only we had our NFL gut cams.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want to be in my gut. It's a horrible place.
James, you're stalling. I will not have my grand hosting time cut into because you are padding.
It's true. Nerves.
He is very nervous.
Dry throat. Coughing.
Drogba or Pogba?
I'm going to go with Drogba.
2-0 to Umbalelo. Europa League final.
Yes! It's all on my shoulders. I like to take responsibility.
Pogba, Mourinho's proudest moment as a Manchester United manager. Winning the Europa League. Umbalelo, back to you. You could win it. You could win it with this. Maybe the short format works for you.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I've always been known as a minute man.
This is the pressure. Not one for the children or the ladies. The competition is the FA Cup. Jose Mourinho on the bench. The opposition, Norwich City. Newly promoted Norwich City back in the Premier League. Just had a gap year. But they're back.
Yeah, correct.
They are back. Looks like all 3 relegated teams are coming straight back. This was an FA Cup game. 4-0 win. But our protagonist only scored 1.
Against Norwich, huh?
Drogba or Pogba. It's strange. You'd think, what do you think? A midfielder is more likely to get 1 versus your star striker. In a 4-0, get a lot of chances. That's what I'd be thinking. That's what I'd be weighing up.
I'm just thinking.
Surely Norwich in a 4-0 are going to give away a penalty. Big game. Manchester United or Chelsea, they could panic. Mourinho's going to push. You don't know. That seems strange to me. I'd wonder who would score more.
Wow.
Drogba or Pogba.
Now,
for the win.
The first time around, never quite cracked the FA Cup. When would you play Norwich? Would they be in early? Would you get them late? Premier League teams don't generally get each other early.
Norwich have been a yo-yo club.
They have.
Up and
That's
down.
the tricky part.
What level were Norwich at? Obviously at a low level, 4-0.
I'd have to say, I'm trying to think of Man United in the FA Cup because they only won the League Cup under Mourinho's dreadful 2.5 seasons. 4-0. I can't imagine too many games where United with that team would have won 4-0. I want to go back. Paulo, I don't even want to go through my Chelsea thinking. I've got the answer locked in, Paulo. I'm going to go with Didier Drogba because I think he played in a better team that would have produced 4-0. I can't remember Mourinho's Man United team ever really producing 4-0. Paulo, my final answer's in. It's Didier Drogba.
As a contestant on this game, Umbulelo signifies the common person. He bakes cook sisters for the church fete. He's a humble man, an honest man, God-fearing man. Perhaps that helps him in these games, perhaps not. James, did you notice the logic Umbulelo applied to his thinking? Never tried to throw me off. Didn't distract from the cause. Knew the end game.
I know exactly where this is going.
Umbulelo consults his notes. You see, he keeps paper. That's what I like about this guy. Old school, handwritten, craft. You know, Japan is one of the few countries that still uses fax machines. Probably the only one.
Wow. Land of the rising sun.
Because they value handwritten contracts.
Ah.
They don't want computers. You must handwrite your contracts. They value it.
Honor.
So Umbulelo does. It's craft. He takes his time.
Well raised.
No caps lock. Nothing.
Shout out Mumsy.
Writes it there. Then takes a photo and puts it on his hard drive. Puts it in the cloud. Wherever you put these things. Anyway, I digress.
I wasn't buying into any of that.
It has to be a big. It has to be.
Let's
a big
go!
one because hopefully, I want a lot of kids.
Let's go.
A lot of kids, a lot of wins, a whitewash.
Let's
3-0.
go. Let's
James was
go.
never in the game. I could tell you from the beginning. He was trying to distract me. It did not work. He did not distract Umbulelo. No mind games here.
Yes.
He is the Arsene Wenger of mind games.
Yes.
A whitewash. A quick game is a good game. That is Pogba versus Drogba for another week. Both my contestants have posted a whitewash.
Yes.
This is phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Yes.
Phenomenal.
You're a specialist in failure.
Phenomenal
Jose Mourinho
stuff.
said that about Arsene Wenger, and I'm saying that about James now.
Phenomenal
Yes.
stuff.
I love winning. It's way better than losing. James has lost. I won. Yes. 3-0 in your face, James.
Phenomenal stuff.
Man, that's big hosting from Paulo.
Phenomenal stuff.
And I've
Thank you guys.
Oh.
Thank you.
great hosting.
I couldn't do it without you guys. Like literally.
Oh, I just wiped the floor, James. It feels so good. My weekend's made. My weekend's... Wow. James, winner. You're a loser.
He has not even made a peep.
Not even close.
Not even for a while.
Not even... Oh, man, it's great to be great. On that note, I mean, appreciate you, Paulo. James, I will be trampling all over your grave this weekend, and I feel good about that. I feel nothing about it. 3-0. Oh,
It's such a simple game. I got to be honest. It's such a simple game, but what fun.
a great game.
It is a lot of fun.
Hey, the Swedes have a great saying. Simplicity is the highest form of sophistication.
That's what I'm saying. Very
Man.
simple.
And I simply crushed James.
Oh,
That is simple.
I actually felt quite bad watching that.
Man.
I had to keep my decorum, but that was
That was brutal, huh?
Oh, that was...
James, give us some outro music there, because we're done for the week. Give me a little bit of red button there. You got to go to the red button.
Yeah, but I got to turn the other one off.
Oh, I see.
See?
Ladies and gentlemen, after I walked all over James, destroyed him, I don't know if he'll come back from this. Who knows his mental health? He's young. He's 24. He feels. He says, hey, include me. We want to do stuff. I want to express myself. I don't know how that's going to go for James. I just smashed him this week. Smashed him. But James, hard worker, good guy, good boyfriend, great son.
He'll be back.
He's
He'll
the
be-
third favorite son at home.
He'll be back.
And you know what? He's used to adversity. He's used to it. He's used to being the third favorite. He's always fighting for that last piece of chicken. And his mom goes, James, get the hell away from that chicken. I prefer my other two kids. So James is used to fighting. Huh, James? You're tough, rough, tough, Sensitians, after. Difficult stuff. Difficult stuff. You'll be back. Paulo Diaz,
That was a lot.
a man, a champion, a Portuguese president, a swag maestro. By the way, came in here today. Are you kidding me? His Nike high tops. Get out of here.
Well, they high tops.
Oh.
I had no idea.
Get
it's
out of
really-
here. I said to him, listen,
Weak
I
ankles.
insulted Paulo. I said, hey, is that suede? He said, it was.
Nubuck.
Noob. Oh, you. I was spitting in his face.
I don't know what that is.
I spat in Paulo's face.
That's what it says in the box.
I love high tops. High tops are dope.
They are dope.
And those look very nice.
Hey, tell you what's been dope. Being on the show this week. Gentlemen, appreciate you. Paulo, great swag. Great sneakers. Great chain. Great chest hair. Good guy. Great human, most importantly. James, you're a great human yourself. It's been a pleasure being with you this week. It's been awesome. Great fun today, Friday. Trounced you, James, but whatever, you'll bounce back. You know what I'm saying? Still a good guy.
I'm gonna try not cry myself to sleep.
Hey, it is what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, it's great to be great. I love winning. Paulo, you're a great man. Have a great weekend. You've got a great family. We do have a holiday coming up on Tuesday, so enjoy your time away with your family or spending time with your fam. Enjoy that, bro.
But I will miss my sports fam. James, my son, and Umbulelo, my life partner.
There we go. You love to hear it.
Yes, love to hear it.
And applause on the way out. Hey, I can't do better than that. Paulo will miss us. Ladies and gentlemen, MKT. This is the MKT Show. James Ellingsley was with me. The great Paulo Diaz was with me as well. It's been fun this week. It's been an honor to be with you. But for this week, and indeed today, we are the hell out of here.